morning. I'm Dr. John Volpi. Thank you all for joining us today for our inaugural Future of Stroke Conference. When we envisioned this event last year, we had no idea about the challenges we would face with the COVID pandemic. And I want to start today by thanking our CME office, Rachel White and Shima Zanigay, as well as the DeBakey CV Education Studio for adapting and sticking with us as we reimagined this event. Behind the scenes, there are a number of precautions and logistics in place so that we can safely present and maintain social distancing. I hope you've taken time out from your busy schedules to join us for the entire program. But if you miss any sessions, we will be recording and publishing them as an ongoing option for CME throughout this year. We expect to have that final product ready in early February. Also, if you enjoy the lectures, please spread the word for others to view and hopefully join us next year. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Please visit their virtual exhibits to show your gratitude for their support. There'll be a number of short breaks throughout the day for you to do so. Our moderators for today's events will coordinate the sessions and introduce the speakers. We're fortunate to have a distinguished panel of moderators who represent Houston Methodist in a variety of roles. Because of the structure of our event, I'll take the opportunity now to introduce all of the moderators and review today's agenda. For our first session, The Future of Stroke in the first hour, which will begin in just a moment, I'll be joined by our moderator, Dr. New Bruce. Dr. Bruce is a board-certified and fellowship-trained vascular neurologist and the medical director of the stroke program at Houston Methodist The Woodlands Hospital. Dr. Bruce graduated from New York Medical College in Valhalla, New York. She completed an internal medicine internship and a neurology residency program at the University of Colorado in Denver, and completed her neurovascular fellowship at the University of California, San Diego. She leads a dedicated team at the Woodlands that achieved Comprehensive Stroke Center designation, an accomplishment that has allowed her hospital to deliver cutting-edge care to the Woodlands and its surrounding communities. Dr. Bruce is actively involved in stroke research as part of StrokeNet and supports community outreach and stroke education throughout North Houston and Montgomery County. For our second session, The Future of Stroke Imaging, we will welcome Dr. Richard Klesnick as moderator. Dr. Klesnick completed his neuroradiology fellowship at Tufts New England Medical Center, then served as the chief of neuroradiology at Wilford Hall at the Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, where he received the Air Force Commendation Medal. He then completed an interventional neuroradiology fellowship at Baylor College of Medicine and served as an assistant professor of radiology. Dr. Klesnick joined the staff at Houston Methodist in 1996 as an interventional neuroradiologist and was appointed the director of interventional neuroradiology in 2005. Dr. Klesnick is active in clinical trials of endovascular treatments for various neurological disorders. He recently completed his term as the president of the Society of Neurointerventional Surgery from 2019 to 2020. After that imaging section, for our third morning session, Dr. Debbie Sukin will serve as moderator. Dr. Sukin is a Houston native who earned a PhD in health policy and health management from UT Houston after having received her Master of Healthcare Administration from Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. She's a fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives and currently serves as a regional senior vice president of Houston Methodist and the CEO of Houston Methodist The Woodlands Hospital. In 2016, Dr. Sukin was named a hometown hero in the Woodlands. She's received numerous recognitions, and most recently, Houston Business Journal recognized Dr. Sukin as an outstanding business leader in healthcare for Women Who Mean Business, and the Businesswoman of the Year in 2017. We look forward to having her moderate our section on the future of stroke systems of care. After the morning sessions, there'll be time to grab some lunch and engage in the lunch seminars. As a housekeeping reminder, those sessions are sponsored and not part of the CME block, so there will be a separate link for access. After lunch, we'll have our keynote lecture from Dr. Natalia Rost. Dr. Rost is a devoted clinician scientist in stroke who studied the role of genetics and susceptibility to acute cerebral ischemia and outcome prediction in patients with acute stroke. She's had continuous NIH and foundation support in this area of research throughout her career. Dr. Natalia Rost serves as the Massachusetts General Hospital Stroke Division Chief and Professor of Neurology at Harvard Medical School. The topic of her keynote is The Future of Stroke is Discovery. After the keynote, Dr. Thomas Kent will be our moderator for the Future of Stroke Prevention. It's a special privilege for me to welcome Tom back to Methodist, as he was one of my mentors in residency. Dr. Kent has over 150 peer-reviewed publications and has been active in all areas of academic medicine, from research to education to administration, and is a world expert in the translational science of vascular neurology with research in nanomedicine, advanced computational models, and metabolics. For many years, Dr. Kent served as the head of neurology for the Houston VA. Currently, Dr. Kent works in a translational and clinical research program focused on stroke and other brain injuries at the Texas A&M Health Science Center Houston campus, in the Institute of Biosciences and Technology, and as an Associate Dean for the Engineering Medical School. For the fifth session, The Future of Stroke Recovery, we will welcome Dr. Teresa Caldas. Dr. Caldas is Chief of the Physical Medicine and Rehab section here at Houston Methodist Hospital. She's an assistant professor at the Academic Institute at Houston Methodist and Weill Cornell Medical College. Dr. Caldas is a specialist in brain injury and stroke rehabilitation, geriatric rehabilitation, neuromuscular medicine, and spinal cord rehabilitation. I'm really looking forward to hearing about the innovations in this area to help our patients get back what they have lost. For stroke science, recovery and restoration is in many ways the challenge of our time. After our sessions conclude, we'll have an ethics module from Dr. Shyam Panchal, one of the newest additions to the Methodist stroke team. Dr. Panchal was a neurology resident and chief resident at Houston Methodist, and then went on to complete his stroke fellowship at Vanderbilt. He will present on the very important topic of burnout. With that, I'll turn the program over to Dr. Bruce for our first session.